Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. The Raiders have every intention of walking out of today's game with win number 4 on the season. It's the Chiefs going up against the Raiders. With that, we'll get you out to Oakland, so we'll hand it over to our colleagues, Brandon Guyton and James Davis.
Larry, apart from a 13-year gap in L.A., we are at the home of the Raiders since 1966. But how much longer will they be playing football in Oakland, California? Today, it's a matchup in the AFC West between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Oakland Raiders. Now a play fake here on first down. And Hill with it over the middle. Taking it right down Broadway. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 77 yards. And the Chiefs are going to take a first quarter lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it. Get the football to start the game.
That was scripted. Was it an audible, or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. On the return, here's a dangerous Cordero Patterson. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. A couple of Chiefs there to bring him down. Carr to throw on second down. And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. To throw on second down is Smith. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They'll run now with Ware. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's first and goal. So the chain gang now done for the drive. Ball on the 10, first and goal. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. On second down, here's Smith. That's caught at the 1. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that's going to bring up an interesting third and goal.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They come out here in the eye. And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Alex Smith with touchdown number 2 in the game, and now 11 on the year. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. And he knocks it through. Now, after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. And an extra DB here for the Chiefs on third down.
Pass situation.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on third.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
And a glance now at the Chiefs' defense.
When Derrick Johnson entered the league as a first-round draft pick, he was known as an outside linebacker with a lot of speed. He's evolved into one of the best inside linebackers in the NFL.
Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a third down and 6 to go.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First-level defensive line, second-level linebackers, third-level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level player.
Let's see what they go to here on third down and 6. Throwing his car on third down. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And down he goes, but the stiff arm utilized effectively there. And it helps him move the sticks. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field. I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. And the offense lining up 1st and 10.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Throwing now is Carr. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And now here comes Kansas City. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Jeremy Maclin, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
From that spot on the field, the tendency is to play it safe, run the football, make sure you don't have any errors. But sometimes you want to break tendency, and you take a big shot downfield, hoping to catch the defenders a little bit unaware. Unfortunately, they weren't able to get it completed on that play.
Here's Smith. Caught. Kelsey, left side. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
the speed, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
yards that time on the return. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Raiders in possession of the football. They've got a 2nd down at 5 here to start things out. Shotgun now for Carr. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr. They'll roll him out right. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
Yeah, as an offensive coordinator, if you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work. But in his defense, this has been a stifling defense so far. So they've got to start finding a way to unlock them as this game goes on.
And now here comes Kansas City. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
One of the toughest things for an offensive lineman to learn is the ability to get in space and hit people who are moving targets. And linebackers are not easy ones to hit because they know how to move, juke, and make you miss. And that's exactly.
And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back in his own 3-yard line.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Defense maybe trying to guess the snap count there, and it costs them 5 yards. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. And Hill with it over the middle. And down he'll go at the 25. That'll be a gain of 16. And that's going to make it 4th down. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Raiders. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. The linebacker, Derek Johnson, in on the stop.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. play fake here on first down. And that's incomplete. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. And it's second down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
He's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4. From the gun, it's Carr.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
Now a handoff as they run left side. Shreds the tackle. He got 29 yards that time.
Well, plenty of credit has to go to the guy carrying the ball. He broke the tackle and gained the yardage. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the defender's bad. They're not going to make 100% of the tackles all the time. Even the best in the game will miss one occasionally. The key is not to let it snowball and miss tackle after tackle. On that play, credit to the offense, but that doesn't make the defense bad.
So 2nd and 10 here.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders are back within a score. Didn't have anything downfield, swung it out to the flat. He did the rest.
Such a staple of so many offenses we see now. You know, in our discussions with offense coordinators, how many times do they tell us, hey, this offense is designed for either a touchdown or a check down. We saw the check down on that play, and boy, was it successful.
Saw a touchdown, too. And now here comes Kansas City. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. They run again with Ware. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Brief break in the action here. We'll come back to Oakland after this. Kelsey out in the slot right. They go play action here on first down. And he's got a man on the crossing route. That's Macklin. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. And 15 yards there on the catch and run.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 4. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. 3rd down and 3. Again, Smith. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. A pickup of 5 that time and a first down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Here's Smith now on 2nd down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Now it's Smith. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even in today's NFL, when we think of the tight end position now as really a glorified wide receiver, we're still asking a lot of those guys. They have to block as well, and every now and then, they don't come down with the football.
And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over to spot the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
Now Carr over the middle. It's Jared Cook. It's a pickup of 14 there. And it'll give the Raiders a first down. And now they're in the hurry-up. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective. As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable, usually an excellent target, and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So it'll be first down here after the run. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So they almost turn it over there. Scary moment. 2nd down here. One receiver to the left is Cooper. Carr to throw on 2nd down. Looking deep downfield. Looking for Crabtree, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. That late in the clock, 2nd quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may force them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
They'll run it now out of the gun across the 30 to the 31-yard line. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game as we send you across the country to Orlando. Standing by there, Larry Ridley with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry? Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And not a great return here. He'll make it back only to the 10-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down. They tried to swing it out left into the flat, but the defense, they were very principled there.
It felt very West Coast offense, didn't it? You know their expression, right? On the West Coast offense, when they throw the ball, it's either going to be a touchdown or a check down, meaning they like to press it downfield. If they don't have it, swing it out, which is exactly what we saw there. But how about the great pursuit and tackle to make a nice play?
So incomplete on 2nd down. Now they'll look to convert here on 3rd. Throwing his car on third down. He's got time in the pocket. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that will bounce out of bounds before they can get a return going. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical.
That is going to be a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love. That strong return has set them up nicely for this drive, and we all know the next score is going to have a major impact on this game.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked so well, and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And quickly, they get to the line. Carr going to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
A nickelback added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. Carr dancing to his left. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Now that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3-and-out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a first down.
Throwing on first down is Carr. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack. Now Carr throwing on second down. Buying time to his left. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on second down.
Forced out to his left. He finds Roberts, complete. That one goes for 24 yards.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Into the red zone, it's Carr. Being chased out left. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 2nd and about a yard.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. They give him 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
5 yards to go for the offense. First down and goal from that 5-yard line. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. To throw his Carr, finding time. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line.
So they were stopped trying to run the ball on first down. Now they take a sack on second down. The offensive coordinator's got to find a way to flip the script on the defensive coordinator because right now the defense has the advantage.
An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal. Here's Carr to throw. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. And Aguayo able to knock it through. And with that, they move ahead by a point here in this 3rd quarter. And, Charles, they get the field goal. Took them a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And last time they surrendered to safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points. I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
Now a play fake, and it's Smith. Surveying the field. And Hill with it over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on. 3rd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
So the offense has it 1st and 10.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a 1st down.
And the offense moving quickly to the line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. And this is caught. Jeremy Maclin. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Jeremy Maclin, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs are going to jump back in front. Here's Smith looking to throw. And this will be caught as they convert here for 2. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Carr to throw on 2nd down. Steps away to his left. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Throwing on first down is Carr, escaping the pressure right. And he slides to avoid the hit. It's a gain of 21 that time. And that'll be good for an Oakland first down.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
To throw, it's Carr. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Carr now on first down. Dancing to his left. And his throw is incomplete. Again here on 2nd and 10. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. A solid pickup of 13 sets them up 1st and goal. They're going to hurry back to the line now. 1st down and goal. The offense knocking on the door. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. That gets them 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line. Because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. That's complete right around the 8. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. An extra DB defensively here. Big stop needed on 3rd and goal.
He may be a blitzer.
Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the... And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Likely the play of the game here. Trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. Now Carr got to have this one. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Jared Cook, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up.
4th and goal, and they found a way to throw it in the end zone for a touchdown.
And these defenses, they just like 3 downs, get off the field. But here they had to go 4, couldn't get it done.
A lot of the time, you're looking up and saying, okay, if I hold them for 3, at worst, I give up a field goal attempt. When they go for it, sometimes it really affects the defense because maybe they're not mentally prepared to go that 4th down.
And now here comes Kansas City. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
It takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. 2nd down to the offense needing 5 yards. From the gun, here's Smith. He's got the hook up with Conley. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. And they're going to speed things up here. 3rd and 2, Smith. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. 9 yards on the play and a 1st down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On the run, it's Ware. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Back to throw, Smith. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by David Amerson. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Tie game here. Time starting to run down. The defense really needs to try and keep this game tied, see if they can get the ball back for the offense. To throw his Carr. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, and that'll make it third down.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
Throwing his Carr on third down. He can run for it, and he will. And avoids the contact by sliding. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. See if they stay on the ground for second down.
All right, here we go.
Here's Carr. It's a loss of 2, now third down. So here we go now, an extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Back to throw, Carr. And that is incomplete.
Well, that was pretty nice to watch if you like a defense's perspective, because they understood where the first down line was as much as the offensive guys did. Did not give up any more ground, and when the ball was thrown, reacted really well and swatted it away. One of the advantages of zone defense, you never take your eyes off the quarterback, and when he reacts, you do exactly the same and go get the ball.
And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Now Smith. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
They come up in an offset eye. Smith now to throw. And it's complete to Kelsey. And they're going to have this one up near the 30-yard line. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Smith. Flush to his right. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by David Amerson. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They need to get this around the 40 to have a chance to win it in regulation. From the 40, it's a 57-yard field goal, so that gives you a gauge.
And all they're trying to do now is pick up yardage in good chunks and get out of bounds to stop the clock. If they end up running a play and get tackled in bounds, they're worried the clock may run out on them and finish the game.
And they'll have to be careful how they handle this.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
They'll run it now. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave them with a third and about 3 to go.
But it was stopped on that play. We had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to them the rest of the game.
They brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
And he finds Cook. Give him 8 yards on the play, and they pick up the first.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, we'd run about 3 different.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage.
Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It'll be their 3rd, and the Chiefs are going to signal for and be granted another timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So it all comes down to the right foot of Roberto Aguayo. The clock showing just 1 tick. This for the win. And his kick is good. He knocks through his 3rd field goal of the game, and this one is the one that decides it. And the Raiders escape with a victory. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Raiders, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Dallas Cowboys next week. Meanwhile, for the Chiefs, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Denver Broncos. So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Black Hole celebrates. The Raiders are winners here as we say so long from Oakland.